You're bleeding. Not the kind that fixes with a bandage and a kiss from mom. This is a kind that runs down your skin in sheets, pools under you, and soaks into the dirt like it's in a hurry to leave. The kind that turns your vision into a narrowing tunnel and makes your legs feel like vague suggestions instead of tools you control. There's a hole in you that wasn't there 10 minutes ago, and now it's the only thing your body cares about. The nearest hospital might as well be on the moon. Either a burned-out shell full of people who would gladly put another round in you, or a distant building you'll never reach across broken roads and hostile ground. No ambulances coming. No sirens. No surgeon in clean scrubs. No morphine drip humming gently at your side. It's just you, the half-forgotten junk in a bathroom cabinet, and the very real possibility that you're about to become high-quality fertilizer. But here's the ugly little miracle about bullet holes. They're fair. They don't care if you were ready or not. If you're a prepper with a basement full of canned food, a scavenger with a backpack and a bad attitude, or someone who just happened to stand in the wrong place at the wrong time, the body opens the same way. The body leaks the same way. And if you can keep your brain online, your hands steady, and your panic simmering instead of boiling over, you might plug that leak long enough to wake up tomorrow. This isn't clean, it isn't pretty, and it definitely isn't safe. This is field medicine at the end of the world. Step 1. Stop the bleeding before the bleeding stops you. Right now, nothing matters more than pressure. Not emotional pressure, that you already have too much of. Physical pressure, the kind that crushes vessels closed and forces blood to stay where it belongs. Grab the cleanest cloth-like thing you can reach. A t-shirt, a towel, a curtain ripped from the window, the least disgusting sock you can find. Fold it into a thick pad and slam it directly over the wound like you're trying to smother a fire that's about to jump to the next room. Because that's what a hemorrhage is, a fire made of liquid, burning out your time instead of your oxygen. Push hard. Hard enough that your arms tremble. Don't peel it back to check on your progress. Of course it's still bleeding. There's a tunnel through your meat. If the cloth turns red and heavy, don't pull it away. Add another layer over the top. When you rip it off, you tear away the fragile clot your body is desperately building, and all you earn is a fresh rush of blood and a faster slide toward the floor. Keep pressure, keep contact, keep going. If the wound is on an arm or a leg, lift that limb above your heart. Gravity is one of the few things in this world that still works reliably and doesn't charge extra. Every centimeter higher makes it a little harder for blood to race downhill and escape. If the hole is in your chest, stomach, or back, then there's no neat trick. You can't lift your liver above your heart. All you can do is keep that pressure steady and refuse to pass out. Step 2. The tourniquet, for when pressure alone is losing the fight. If the blood is bright red and spurting in rhythm with your heartbeat, or spraying out like a broken hose, you're dealing with an artery and you are running out of time. You need a tourniquet. Not a string, not a cable, something at least 2 inches wide. A sturdy belt, a torn strip of jeans, a long piece of cloth, a dog leash. Stay away from shoelaces, cords, wires, anything thin enough to bite into your flesh like a cheese cutter. That doesn't just stop the blood, it slices tissue apart and almost guarantees you'll never use that limb again. Wrap the makeshift band a few inches above the wound, between the hole and your heart. Higher is better than too low. Tie it down tight so it already squeezes. Then find something rigid. A stick, a pen, a screwdriver, a piece of tool handle. Slide it under the band and twist. Turn it like you're winding up time itself. Tighter, tighter, until the bleeding slows, then stops. It will feel like someone is crushing your bones with a vice. That agony means blood flow has been strangled, and that's exactly what you need right now. Secure the stick so it can't unwind. Now mark the time. Scratch it into the wall, smear it in blood on the floor, write it on your skin. A tourniquet is a brutal bargain. It saves your life at the cost of the limb it's on if you leave it too long. You have maybe 2 hours before tissue starts dying for real. After that, you are in the territory of amputations and ugly choices. Bleed out now or lose the limb later. Welcome to apocalypse math. Step 3. Clean the wound or invite infection to finish the job. If you're still conscious by this point, congratulations, you survived the fast part. Now you're up against the slow killer, infection. Sepsis doesn't roar in with noise and drama. It creeps. It waits. It uses every bit of dirt, fabric, metal, and grime that went in with the bullet as a colony starter kit. You need to irrigate the wound. That's a pretty word for rinse the hell out of it. If you can boil water, let it bubble to kill whatever is living in it, then let it cool until it's warm but not hot enough to cook tissue. No stove? Use bottled water. No bottles? Use tap water, even if it tastes like rust, plastic, and decisions you regret. Dirty water is bad. A dirty wound is worse. You're not sipping it. You're pouring it in. Hold the wound open as best you can and pour the water straight into it. Not a polite sprinkle, a steady stream. You're trying to wash out every grain of dirt, every thread, every fragment. If you have saline, the kind meant for eyes or wounds, that's even better. If you have hydrogen peroxide, you can use it one good time to fizz out the worst of the junk, but don't turn it into a bath. It will also chew at the healthy tissue, try to repair you. As for vodka or whiskey, keep them for later. They burn. They don't clean as well as people think, and you're going to want something to drink when this is over. Pat the skin around a wound dry with the cleanest cloth you can find. Clean is a relative word now. You're aiming for least disgusting in the immediate area. Step 4. Pack the wound, because nature hates a vacuum, and your body will not neatly zip itself closed. If the bullet went straight through, you've got two problems: an entrance and an exit. If it stayed inside, you got a single entrance hole and a piece of metal playing hide and seek somewhere near your vital organs. Either way, the cavity left behind is a problem that needs filling. Reach for sterile gauze if you have it. If you don't, find the best substitute you can. Clean gauze, leftover bandages, or fabric that hasn't spent the last week dragging across the floor. Rip it into narrow strips if needed. Start at the deepest part of the wound. With your fingers or a pair of tweezers, begin feeding the gauze inside. Slowly, firmly. Don't just shove it all in like stuffing a pillow. You're building layers, one on top of another, filling the entire hollow space, so there's nowhere for blood to pool or for infection to hide easily. The goal is internal pressure you can't see. You want it snug, not suffocating. Too tight, and you choke the tissue. Too loose, and you might as well have left it empty. You're aiming for that middle ground, solid but with a bit of give, like a handshake that's firm enough to mean it, but not trying to prove a point. If there's an exit wound as well, you repeat the process from that side too. 2 doors, 2 plugs. Once you've packed everything you can, cover the whole mess with a larger dressing. A folded cloth, a pad, something broad enough to cover both the hole and the skin around it. Then tape it down. Medical tape is made for this. Duct tape is the apocalypse alternative. If all you have is weak little strips of office tape, you can still make it work if you layer and crisscross it like your life depends on it. It does. Step 5. Antibiotics, where you fight the enemy you can't see. Infection is the second wave, the one that doesn't care how tough you were when you took the hit. A bullet can miss your heart and still sign your death certificate if bacteria take over afterward. If you have real antibiotics, the good stuff like amoxicillin, doxycycline, or anything broad spectrum, start taking them exactly as they're meant to be taken. Don't play games with the dosage. Don't skip a day because you think you feel okay. Feeling fine is often the last calm breath before everything goes sideways. If there are no antibiotics, you improvise. Real honey is more than just sugar. Raw, unprocessed honey has properties that slow bacterial growth. Spread a thin layer on the gauze that will sit directly on the wound before you wrap it up. It's not magic, it's just one more small edge. Garlic is another blunt tool. Crush cloves into a paste with a little oil and apply it to the dressing. Not directly mashed into raw flesh, unless you want an extra layer of pain. You'll smell like a kitchen, but the priority here isn't your cologne, it's survival. None of this is guaranteed. All of it is better than doing nothing. Step 6. Monitor for shock, because your body is dramatic and sometimes dangerous even to itself. Shock is your system's overreaction to trauma. It narrows blood flow, reroutes resources, and if it goes too far, it quietly kills you while you're busy thinking about the hole in your side. You need to watch for pale, clammy skin, a racing pulse, shallow, rapid breaths, eyes that don't quite focus, thoughts that feel like they're slipping through your fingers. Cold sweat, shaking, nausea, all of it is your body screaming that it's overwhelmed. If you feel those signs creeping in or you see them in someone else, have them lie down. Lift their legs if there's no injury preventing it. That helps blood return to the core. Cover them with whatever you have, blankets, jackets, spare clothes. Keep them warm, but not cooking. Offer water in small sips, not chugging. The stomach, like everything else, is working on backup power now. It can handle a few careful mouthfuls, not a full liter dumped into it at once. So, why does any of this stand a chance of working? Because your body is not just a victim here. It's already fighting along with you. Blood clots are tiny, sticky sandbags made of platelets grabbing onto each other and to the edges of damaged vessels. The pressure you apply from the outside helps them form a plug more quickly. A tourniquet cuts off the flow upstream, buying your body time to organize a defense instead of watching the river of life drain away. Packing the wound gives those clots a structure to anchor to, a scaffold for new tissue to grow across. The antibiotics or the honey and garlic, if that's all you have, go after the microscopic invaders that want to turn your bloodstream and organs into their new neighborhood. Your immune system does the rest, as long as you give it a chance. If you make it through the first hour, your odds improve. If you make it through the first day, they improve again. There's no clean white room waiting for you. No doctor with kind eyes and a practiced smile. It's just you, whatever you scrape together, and the stubborn refusal to die on a filthy floor. But take a moment and look at yourself. The wound is packed. The bleeding has slowed or stopped. You're still breathing. In the world you're standing in now, that is a victory. If the pain dulls over time instead of exploding into something worse, if no fever comes, if the wound doesn't swell, redden, and start smelling like something crawled in and gave up, then you did it. You survived something that should have killed you. If it does turn red and hot and foul, if infection takes hold anyway, then maybe this was enough. But you tried, and out here effort is not nothing. Effort is a line between dying now and dying later, and sometimes later is all you need to turn into not today. Now get up. You still have a bullet lodged somewhere or a grave trying to call your name. Either way, your story isn't finished yet.